Right now, you are going somewhere. You have always been going somewhere. Every human who ever lived moved. Moving was not a choice then. Moving was survival, plain and simple. For 300,000 years, you walked everywhere. No wheel, no horse, no engine. Just your 2 feet, every day. Enough to colonize the entire planet. Humans walked out of Africa eventually. They crossed deserts and frozen plains. They reached the edge of everything. Australia, the Americas, the Arctic ice, all of it, reached on foot. The human body is a machine, built by evolution for long distance. We sweat to cool ourselves down. No other primate does this efficiently. Our feet are built for distance. Our hips rotate with every stride. We are the best distance walkers, possibly the best long-distance walkers alive. But walking has one obvious limit. You can only carry so much. You can only go so far, and you cannot outrun a predator. So humans started looking for alternatives. Around 3500 BCE, something changed everything. Not in one place, but two. The wheel appeared in Mesopotamia first. The Sumerians built it from wood. Initially, it was not for transport. The first wheel was for pottery. Then someone had a different idea. Attach the wheel to a cart. Suddenly, one human could move everything, a whole village load, one trip. No wheel exists anywhere in nature. Not a single species evolved one. It was entirely a human invention, and once invented, it spread fast. By 3200 BCE, wheels were everywhere. Carts moved grain across entire civilizations. Armies moved supplies without breaking armies. The wheel didn't just change transport, it changed what cities could become. Big cities need to eat daily. Feeding a city requires moving food. Moving food requires moving it fast. No wheel, no city of scale. Every ancient city ran on wheels. Around the same time came horses. Somewhere in the steppes of Kazakhstan, a human got on a horse. The first evidence is from Botai, around 3500 BCE in ancient Kazakhstan. Horse teeth showing the bit's wear, proof something was controlling the horse. Before this, horses were just prey, just another animal to hunt down. Then humans noticed something remarkable here. This animal is faster than anything. It can carry me while moving. The world suddenly became much smaller. A 10-day journey became just one. Armies that walked now rode instead. The Mongol Empire ran on horses. Genghis Khan conquered more land faster than any army had before. All of it possible on horseback. The horse was the first engine. A living, breathing, biological speed engine. It needed food, water, and rest. It transformed civilization's speed completely forever. Trade routes extended across entire continents. Ideas traveled alongside goods on horseback. Languages spread following the riders everywhere. Linguists believe Indo-Europeans spread this way. Ancestor of half of all languages. Carried westward by riders on horseback. Your language traces back to Kazakhstan, to someone who first rode west. For thousands of years, this held. Foot, cart, horse, boat, and combinations. These were humanity's only available options. Civilizations rose and fell with transport. Rome built 80,000 kilometers of roads, not for pleasure, but for control. Armies moved fast on Roman roads. Grain moved from Egypt to Rome. Messages moved faster than ever before. Empires are essentially just transport networks. When roads broke down, Rome collapsed. Those roads outlasted the empire entirely. Some Roman roads still exist today. Then, in 1769, everything changed again. A Frenchman named Cugnot built something, a cart that moved without horses, powered entirely by pressurized steam inside. It moved at just 4 kilometers. It crashed into a wall immediately. First self-propelled vehicle in human history. Also the first automotive accident ever. Steam engines improved over the decades. In 1825, the first locomotive ran. George Stephenson's locomotion in northern England. It pulled 38 tons at speed. Watching crowds believed it would kill. Doctors warned these speeds would kill. The human body cannot handle it. The human body handled it fine. Within decades, steam rail covered everything. In the 1840s, railroad mania erupted. Thousands of kilometers of track appeared. Cities that took days became hours. Food, coal, people, ideas. Everything. The entire pace of civilization accelerated. But steam trains required tracks everywhere. You could not leave the tracks. Destinations all had to have rails. This left an enormous market untouched. Personal transport, door-to-door movement. In 1885, Carl Benz stepped up. Carl Benz built the patent motor wagon, a three-wheeled machine running on gasoline. It reached 16 kilometers per hour. It looked nothing like a car, more like a motorized bicycle instead. His wife Bertha made it famous. Without telling Carl, she drove it. 104 kilometers in a single day, the longest automotive journey ever attempted. She stopped at pharmacies for fuel. She fixed problems with her hairpin. She proved the car could work. Benz sold 25 vehicles by 1893. It was a rich man's toy. Most people never saw one anyway. Then Henry Ford changed all that. In 1908, the Model T launched. In 1913, Ford built the line. Building a car took 12.5 hours. The assembly line cut it drastically. Price dropped from $825 to $290. Suddenly, a working man could buy. By 1917, 40% were Model Ts. In 1910, 50 cars per 10,000. By 1930, 1,800 cars per 10,000. In 20 years, everything transformed completely. Cities redesigned themselves around the car. Suburbs became possible because of cars. You could live far from work. You could drive to work instead. Roads replaced railways in public funding. By the 1950s, cars were everything. Not just transport, but cultural identity. It was freedom and pure status. America explaining itself to the world. Getting a license was a ritual. A young couple, a car, freedom. Driving nowhere in particular on highways. That was what modern freedom meant. Muscle cars arrived in the 1960s. The Mustang launched specifically in 1964. Ford sold 400,000 Mustangs first year. Americans didn't just buy cars anymore. They fell in love with them. Your car said who you were. It announced your taste to everyone. Ambition, rebellion, identity, all car, all compressed into one vehicle's shape. But then something started going wrong. Traffic had appeared in the 1950s. By the 1970s, cities were choking. 1973, oil embargo, gas lines everywhere. People waited hours for limited fuel. The car's weakness was suddenly visible. It ran on someone else's resource, controlled entirely by other countries abroad. Speed limits dropped to 55 mph. The idea of endless movement cracked. Then came the emissions problem too. Los Angeles couldn't breathe in 1970s. Smog was visible across the valley. Children were told to stay inside. The car that promised freedom was slowly poisoning the freedom it created. Regulations appeared. Converters, unleaded fuel, limits. Cars got cleaner, but damage continued. More cars meant more roads everywhere. More roads then meant more cars. The car created its own dependency. 92% of American households own cars. Americans drive 13,000 miles every year, not always because they want to. The infrastructure now demands it completely. The car promised freedom, then created the need for itself to exist. Then the electric car arrived quietly. The Tesla Roadster launched in 2008. Nobody outside Silicon Valley cared then. By 2012, Tesla had Model S. By 2020, EVs were mainstream everywhere. By 2025, EVs hit 25% sales. The promise was always the same. Freedom from every gas station forever. Freedom from emissions and oil entirely. But something unexpected happened to EVs. The car stopped feeling like itself. No engine sound, no gear shifts, no mechanical connection with the road. Just silent acceleration, a touchscreen inside. People standing next to a charger, waiting 30 minutes to continue moving. The Tesla is an extraordinary machine, but it doesn't feel like driving. It feels like being efficiently processed. And now the next step arrives. The self-driving car is already here. Waymo gave 14 million rides already. A car with no human driver. You get in and tell it. It takes you there automatically now. McKinsey predicts 2030 for mass deployment. By 2035, 76 million autonomous cars, all navigating without a human hand. Think about what this actually means. The car was control made physical. 2 hands on the wheel, anywhere. The autonomous car removes the wheel. You are now just a passenger. The question isn't about efficiency anymore. It is more efficient, statistically speaking. Waymo's system cut crashes by 91%. Pedestrian injuries dropped by 92% too. A robot driver is safer always. Statistically, mathematically, measurably safer every time. But efficiency was never the point. The point was the feeling itself, of choosing a direction personally chosen, of being the one who decides. When humans first got on horses, when we gave them the car, something they had never possessed before, the ability to go anywhere personally, whenever they wanted at personal speed. The autonomous car takes that away, puts you back in the cart, pulled by something you cannot control, except now it's a computer instead. We came full circle in transport. The wheel moved us all forward. Now the wheel moves without us. Whether that is progress or regression, whether it is freedom or loss, that depends on what you value, on whether destination alone is enough, or whether driving was the point. The next stage is on roads. It just doesn't need you steering.